Why, hello. Welcome to Tuesday's Capstone. And today we're going to continue with taking notes. Um, Yesterday you added some new sources to your Padlet, so today we're just going to keep trucking along and trying to learn more about our topics. I feel like we're getting pretty advanced in our research. This is like the third or fourth week. And if you've been keeping up, you probably have 10, 12 sources that you've read and taken notes on. So that's a lot. We're really getting there. So today's thing is thinking about yesterday, thinking about what you want to read next. Remember, we had that chart yesterday. So if you remember, we had that chart yesterday, and you could think about the new information you still want to know, or more about something that you had started to read about, but you just want to know like more about it. All right. And you use these two questions to add to your Padlet. So now you should be ready. You should just be able to go to your Padlet and say, oh, I want to learn about this new thing, or I want to know more about this thing. Okay. So I'm going to go over here, and I really want to know more about enslaved people that tried to escape and rebellions and stuff like that. So I'm going to read or listen to this article, watch this video on the Underground Railroad. And before I hit play, I just want to always remember my steps. This chart is here on the assignment. So I have to remember to watch the whole video without stopping, watch it a second time, and stop after something important. Just think. At the end, write 3 to 5 things that you think are the most important to remember. Okay? And then in all caps, you write your opinions or thoughts. I thought you did a pretty good job last week, but this one was where we needed improvement. Not enough people were actually writing 3 to 5 facts. Too many people were writing 1 fact, 2 facts, and then their opinion. And it just didn't like make sense reading it. Okay? So we're going to make sure we write 3 to 5 things. So the first thing we'll do is watch the whole video without stopping. Okay, so this is the part that I'm watching.
Americans, both black and white, began organizing and speaking out against slavery. The people who wanted to get rid of or abolish slavery were called abolitionists. It is believed that the Underground Railroad began in 1781. That's when abolitionists began to organize a system for hiding and aiding runaway enslaved people. By 1850, there were 3,000 workers on the Underground Railroad helping escaped enslaved people on their treacherous journey to the free states in the North and Canada. The Underground Railroad was a series of homes, barns, and churches called stations. Stations were the places runaways could hide. People who ran the stations were called station masters. Some people were called conductors. Conductors were people who supplied the passengers or enslaved people with maps and other things they would need for their journey north. Typically, stations were about 20 miles apart. Some conductors hid passengers in wagons or carts with false bottoms to travel from one station to another. Runaways usually hid during the day. It was safer to travel under the darkness of night. They could recognize a station by brightly lit candles or lanterns positioned in the front yard. There they knew they could find help. Working or traveling on the Underground Railroad was dangerous. For runaway enslaved people, there was always the danger of slave catchers. Slave catchers would hunt for the escaping enslaved people with dogs. Slave catchers made money by catching and returning enslaved people to their owners. If they were captured, their owners often beat or killed the runaways to discourage others from trying to escape. Working on the Underground Railroad became against the law in 1850 when Congress passed the Fugitive Slave Act. Anyone aiding or hiding runaways would have to pay a steep fine or be put in jail. Helping enslaved people was now illegal.
Okay, I'm going to pretend that's the end of the video, right? Because you don't need to watch the whole thing with me. But I found that kind of fascinating, right? Just to have the Underground Railroad explained so clearly really helped me. So I watched the whole video without stopping. And then you watch it a second time and you just stop and think. So I'm not going to do that completely because, I don't want you to have to watch my whole video for 10 minutes. But I'm going to go back and kind of model what it should be.
Americans, both black and white, began organizing and speaking out against slavery. The people who wanted to get rid of or abolish slavery were called abolitionists.
So I think it's important to know that abolitionists, people who wanted to get rid of slavery, were both white and black. Okay, I think that's something important in this video.
It is believed that the Underground Railroad began in 1781. That's when abolitionists began to organize a system for hiding and aiding runaway enslaved people.
So the Underground Railroad began in 1781, and it was like an organization that helped enslaved people hide and then move from station to station. Okay, so I'm not going to watch the whole video and stop, but I'm just trying to show you what the steps need to be. Watch the whole video without stopping. Watch it a second time and stop after something important. Just think. Now, I need to write 3 to 5 things you think are the most important to remember. And at the beginning of the video, I said this was the weakest point last week from the class, and I believe that. So please watch how I'm doing it so that you can try to improve upon this. So I go to edit post. I think the first thing is that both white and black people were abolitionists. Those were people against slavery. Okay, so I think that's an important thing. I think another important thing was underground, and I'm kind of capitalizing important terms here. Railroad began in 1781, and it was a system for hiding and helping enslaved people escape. I like that it explained that there were different jobs or roles, right? Some ran a station, others were like conductors, and they helped people move to the stations. At the end, I thought it was important that if a person was caught, they would be beaten or killed. I thought that was like a very, it just reminds you of how dangerous this was. And then also, we put in this on other notes that the Fugitive Slave Act made it illegal to help people escape, had to return them. Okay, so that's it. That's what it should look like, guys. That's 3 to 5 notes, my friends, right? That, I think, sorry, it's kind of hidden, but 3 to 5 notes, that's legit. And if you look at all my notes, look at this. And this is how many you should have, right? Because I've just done one every day that you've done it. So this is what your notes should look like. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do my opinion today. So now I'm going to go to the end and oh man, what do I think? I think it was very brave of people to try to escape. I also think it was a genius system. I mean, the fact that before telephones, before any electricity, they were able to organize this whole system of stations and conductors. I mean, it's just pretty wild. But I think it shows you that when people's freedom is being withheld, that people will do anything to get it back. It shows you how important it is to be free. Okay, so this is what you're doing today. You're reading one of your articles. You're really taking your time, and you're writing 3 to 5 notes, and you're writing your opinion at the end. So, what I want you to do in your post is I want you to tell me what article or video you watched/read, and then 2, tell me something you learned about the Underground Railroad. And that way I'll know you actually watched my video. Okay, thank you very, very, very much.